moving right along, I want to look at the legacy of Trump, the Trump name, the Trump family. We've seen the legacy of Robert Mueller, but let's look and see what the cards have to say about the legacy of the Trump clan. So the reading is about, the Empress. So this is my card about America and what's being birthed in America, the birth that's coming. Okay. The abundance. It's a card of abundance as well. So the abundance of the birth of the things that the Trump clan has put in America. Energy coming into it. This is going to be important. Yeah, the energy is all surrounding what? Trump. Trump himself. The star. Okay. The one that's heading up the Trump name, the Trump clan, the Trump family. So above it, we have what's moving rapidly, the 8 of Wands. So something that is coming very fast with the foundation of what he's hoarding. Okay? The things he stole, the things he's hoarding, what he's sitting on, the whole Trump dynamic. Now we know that Trump wants to have his family's name like Rothschilds. He wants his name on every building he can, wants to steal as much as he can so that he can put himself out there like he is some great, accomplished person. Yet we know the only accomplishment he's had is to be a criminal, a grifter, a liar, a thief, a con man, a rapist. So let's see what we have coming now. Death. Death is coming. Okay? He's been the death of many people. The death of their morality, the death of their integrity, and physical deaths that have happened with him and his spawn. Okay? So that's what's happening now. That's his legacy. Death, destruction. Okay? The challenge with their legacy is trying to move it somewhere, but it's stuck. They're looking at their own things, that they've got. And they're kind of out there by themselves, isolated in the end. Okay, the challenge is to move something better, but really look at what happens with them isolated. Okay, their family is in the boat, looking at some God-forgotten mansion on a hill out in the middle of nowhere. Okay? So death and destruction. Their clan is going to be isolated for the most part. Above it, why? Yeah, their dark deeds. The drama. Ruled by the dark. Ego. So all the things they've done caused death, destruction, and left things up in the air. Okay, 7 of Cups, things up in the air, the devil above it, his hoarding. So potential outcome is, what they've built, what's been built, the legacy of the concrete things left behind. Outside influence is his wanting to control. Wanting to control. Now, I think that the outside influence is being controlled by wealth. that whole idea, the ego framework of being in control, being wealthy, etc. Above it, he sees that as strength. You build or you get your name on buildings and you control wealth, that you're a powerful person, okay? But there is the burden, the foundation of the burden underneath of it. So rapidly coming his evil deeds, he saw that as strength. He's a criminal mind. The foundation is what he's hoarding, what he's gathered, hoarded, things up in the air, and the burden that he's left for so many other people. Okay? What's being birthed in America because of him? A lot of death, destruction of morality of people. People lost their businesses because of him. And his whole name and progeny in the end is going to be isolated, wanting to get to a better place, but they're out there by themselves in this boat. Okay? So the outcome is what he thinks he's built. And the outside influence was about gathering, collecting money, being control. So let's see what we have underneath the surface of it. We'll do the first 5 cards and see. It's about judgment is coming. Judgment of what? His family. Judgment of the family and the MAGA, the whole drama that he had created. Again, yeah, the 10 of Pentacles, the progeny, looking at how he affected what he did with MAGA drama, also just the progeny and his whole heritage, looking at that, the history of that in the end. Okay, his family, his progeny, the history. Okay, his desire for wealth, the 9 of Cups. And last but not least, trying to figure out the moves that he did to gain wealth, to gain power, and it was all through the dark side. Again, caused a lot of death, destruction of people, physical deaths, and again, death of morality. So that's his legacy, to be known for what he hoarded, what he got away with, about his salivating after power and money, and the legacy of death he's left behind, death and destruction, and the isolation then of his family, his progeny in the end. Nobody will want to be, once he's gone, there's no cachet for that family. So they will become more and more isolated, and he will be known as a dark entity on the world stage. So that's the legacy of Trump. Are they going to see him as a fabulous businessman? No. They're going to see him as a dark pariah. Okay? And his whole progeny. And looking at his past, their power came from what? Started out in prostitution. And just, dark deeds. The whole family has had a criminal enterprise all the way back. His learning his thing from Cone about somebody hit you, hit 10 times harder. Okay? Dark and dirty, whatever you need to do. As long as you win what you want in the end. Lie, deny, spin. Lie, deny, spin. So his legacy is going to be one of dark. Trump, the name of Trump is not going to be, we trumped you, it's a great thing. No, it's going to be, you've been trumped, you've been lied to, you've been deceived. Okay, so that's the legacy that's going to be left for the Trump clan. Okay, they're going to be pariahs. They may have gotten wealth, but they're going to be isolated. Nobody's going to want to deal with them once he's gone. So on that note, I'll leave that here. And I think that what he said about, about Mueller will be his legacy. People will say, we're glad he's dead because he's caused so much harm to so many people. So again, what he puts out there is a projection. It's a projection on himself. What he said about Mueller is actually what's coming back on him and who he is and the legacy that's going to be left behind. On that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.